Hello, in this video, I'm going to talk about how do we get better after a neurological event. Say for example, if there's a stroke or a brain injury from a road traffic accident or something, how do we get better? So to explain that, I am going to introduce a term, neuroplasticity. It's a very long term and it means nothing to most of the people. But let me put it to you in the easiest format. Say if this is the brain and this part of the brain has been damaged. So what happens when brain damage occurs? The blood flow to that part stops and the brain cells die. Now, say the job of that part is to move my finger. And that means the brain cells there has died. So the question is that how I'm going to learn to move that finger again? You have seen people getting better after stroke. If you had a stroke yourself or brain injury, you have seen you are getting better. But how do you get better? Actually, what happens, the brain cells around that damaged area starts to learn what was the job of that part of the brain. So if that part was responsible for moving this finger, the area around that damaged area slowly, gradually relearns how to move it. That's why immediately after stroke, people might be quite disabled, but gradually they start getting better. Now the problem is that if the brain itself is learning itself everything, what's the point in therapy? Let's talk about that. Now, say before, the connection between this part and my finger was a direct line. It was the shortest way and the quickest way. Now, because the area around here learning, it doesn't happen to be a straight line. It tends to become a long-winded path. So that's why it becomes less efficient. So what the therapist can do, teach the brain to develop a path that is as close as possible to the original path. It might not be 100%, but it will be near about. So what happens if it is a long path, it is slower, but if we can get a shorter path, the process is quicker. Now, here comes another key concept. Hard worker versus easy worker. Now, some people like to work hard, some people like to work in the easiest possible way. Our brain is unfortunately the easy worker. It tries to do things in the easiest possible way. For example, if this biceps and forearm muscles are weaker, after stroke, before I used to reach for this pen straight away. But now, because those muscles are weaker, what the brain tries, if the shoulder muscle is stronger, to get to the pen like this, through compensation. That is called compensation. So the brain wants to learn the easy worker way, but actually getting all those muscles active and reaching straight forward is the hard way. So the purpose of the rehab is to make the brain work in the hard worker way. So we have gone from neuroplasticity to hard worker versus easy worker. Now I'm going to talk about errorless learning. That is very important. Right after a neurological event, if the brain learns to do the easy worker way, that means reaching the pen from sideways, that becomes permanent. But purpose of therapy is to force the brain to learn in errorless learning. That means instead of going like that, we teach the brain to go that way. That is the best route available. And through errorless learning, we promote recovery. That's why you need to pay get a good physio or OT after any neurological event, or if you have a long-term neurological condition. And along with that comes is the normal movement. I've talked many times about how after stroke we start circumducting, the leg comes out, and I have talked about why that doesn't help in the long term. We need to walk in the heel to toe gait pattern, the normal movement. So that's what the therapists do. So that's why right after stroke, if you don't learn the right way of doing things, the abnormal way becomes permanent, and then in the long term you get problem. I hope it makes sense. It is the fundamental of any rehabilitation. Thanks for watching.